Joker's hitting cinemas. It's a big time for movies.
Oh my God, maybe more so than ever before.
It's very well possible. Anyways, if you give this video a like, that'd be great. But what's it about, though? Why would you even give it a like? Well, I'll tell you what. Spoilers. We're going to be talking about theories related to that movie because obviously there's some interpretation that can be done with any movie, with any properties, but none more than 2019's Todd Phillips's The Joker. Just Joker. There's no the.
Just Joker?
Just Joker.
Okay.
Just joking. Anyway, how's this for a theory? Get ready for it. A major part of the story is that Thomas Wayne is said to be the Joker's father.
Oh,
Just
but
Joker,
is he?
sorry. But is he? Turns out in the movie, no. But how about this? I think there's enough evidence here or enough kind of interpretation that you could make from this that he is actually the father of Arthur Fleck.
I mean, he does wear that T-shirt that says "#1 Dad."
That's right.
Of the Joker.
Yeah. So do you think there is room for that in this universe?
For sure. I
Yeah.
mean, he's got plenty of reasons to lie.
Yeah.
And also, it's the 70s or possibly the 80s. There's nowhere to test for this, is there?
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays, you just stick both their hands on like a pointy metal thing in the back computer. You know for sure.
There you go.
Exactly, yeah.
And then he give you a thumbs up.
Thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah. No, I think this is also the kind of Thomas Wayne that would lie about this.
Yeah.
And that the Wayne Manor would also cover this up. It's revealed that in this movie that Arthur Fleck's mother is actually insane and she made the whole thing up. And
Or maybe she isn't.
Yeah, or maybe she isn't. And look, she's clearly very unbalanced and he had a very troubled
Or
childhood.
maybe she isn't.
Well, she seems to be.
But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
How much of any of this movie is
Well,
real?
that's another one of...
The Joker, Master of Illusion.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
A thing that I said earlier, but you probably cut out.
I may have. Yeah. It said in the film that Arthur Fleck is adopted, but at the same time they share the same propensity for like these delusions of grandeur and fantasy. So wouldn't it be more likely that they're actually related than that they both have this exact same condition just by some happenstance or pure coincidence? So I think it's entirely possible that she is both mentally unbalanced and this happened because this is a guy that will punch somebody in the bathroom.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I would also suggest maybe she's also perfectly sane and also she doesn't exist.
Whoa, it could be one of those situations.
Because several of these characters may or may not exist or may have a pre-existing relationship with the Joker or not.
But there is an element in this story, and it's because he imagines the entire relationship that he has with Zazie Beetz. He also imagines that Robert De Niro really loves him when he goes on his show or whatever. So there is that sense of like, is this whole movie just inside his head?
I mean, maybe the part where Robert De Niro's character really loves him is the only real part. And then when he goes on the show, he
imagines that he doesn't?
Yeah, and he sits down and Robert De Niro's like, oh my God, you made it here. I really do love you. And then the Joker's like, how dare you make fun of me? I'm going to kill everybody. You know?
It's entirely possible.
And Robert De Niro's like, I wasn't expecting this. Bullet to the head. I'm dead now.
He's dead now.
Yeah.
Maybe the bit where the Joker gets in the fridge, he just died in the fridge. Because it's one of those fridges where the door closes, it's like a latch and it's from the 70s, you can't open it again. No, but I think there's so much in this movie that could just be like, is any of this real? It ends with him in a mental institution.
Or does it?
Or does it?
Thank you.
Did he imagine the entire film? And I think endlessly we're going to get speculation about what's real and what's not until Todd Phillips is pressured into saying what's real and what isn't.
Yeah.
And then people just go, whatever, I've got my own theory.
So the question here is, whose endurance is going to run out first? The people asking the questions at every event Todd Phillips goes to for the rest of his life, or director Todd Phillips himself? Spoiler alert, it's going to be Todd Phillips.
Absolutely.
And eventually he's just going to start answering questions the way the endgame directors answer all questions, which is the first thing that comes to their mind. They just say it, and then it becomes canon.
That's right.
Did he go to Narnia in that fridge? Yes, he did. Why not?
But I also think it's one of those things where, he's never going to be not asked about this.
Yep.
People still talk about Blade Runner. As in, was he a replicant or was he not? The director of that and also Harrison Ford have both said what they think is true, but people still ask them.
That's true.
Yeah, so there you go. Harrison Ford's like, I'm not baked enough for this,
I
mate.
just want to smoke weed and fly a small airplane.
So what about this? There's actually a Reddit post. This is from Fritzen8805. Now, all of this theory isn't true because it basically ends up being that the Thomas Wayne in this ends up becoming the Ben Affleck Batman. Like, that's part of the theory.
Oh, I see, right.
But I think there is something to be said that this is an alternate timeline, which may have been kicked off by The Flash, time travel.
Okay, sure.
From the main DC universe, which may or may not exist
Why
anymore.
are we all blaming the Flash? Just because he did that Flashpoint thing?
Yeah.
Just because he did the whole Flashpoint dealio?
It was his fault.
I know it was his fault.
Yeah.
But he's not responsible for all of them.
No, he is. Because he did it.
But not every parallel universe is the Flash's fault, is what I'm saying.
Well, that's fair enough.
Some of them are Aquaman's fault.
Yes. But what I'm saying is, if you're looking at strictly the DC movies, the only person who has time traveled is the Flash.
I guess that is true, yeah. So it is
That's
his
why
fault.
his
Yeah.
fault.
All right.
Unless you do Superman 1978.
Yeah.
Because he also time traveled.
Okay.
Or something.
Yeah, no, I get
Yeah.
it.
I don't think, though, this is a universe where they're going to go, oh my God, it turns out that Barry Allen was here and Barry Allen made this weird Scorsese Joker universe.
I mean, that being said, Barry Allen's a very 1970s, 1980s kind of name.
Oh, you
so-
know it is, mate. What about this one? I quite like this one.
Okay,
Arthur Fleck is not actually the real Joker.
I'm ready to hear about this.
The idea is that he's inspired the Joker.
So the real Joker is somewhere out there.
Yes.
Which, I mean, you know, if we want to go with the 1989 Batman movie, the killer of the Waynes was Jack Napier, who then
Yes.
went on to become the Joker. Maybe the guy who killed the Waynes in the alley in this movie is Jack Napier, and he becomes the Joker.
Or
Yes.
there's just another Joker.
Just some other guy.
Because if this is...
Saw it on the telly.
Yeah.
Went, I'll give this a crack.
That's right. Because this is a movie that sets up Batman for the future because we see Bruce Wayne's parents get shot again.
Yes.
So that means...
We see that string of pearls go flying
They
for the
go
millionth,
flying.
billionth time.
Also, I heard a thing that they're actually cheap pearls if they all break like that because expensive pearls, they've got knots in between each one.
Oh
So
my
that doesn't
God.
happen.
So not only is Thomas Wayne a bad bloke, he's a cheapskate as well. No wonder
Exactly.
that's how the rich stay rich, you know what I mean?
You know it.
Bad presents for their wives.
Yeah, that's right. I was led to believe from this movie that there will be a Batman eventually.
Yes.
And this Joker, I think he's supposed to be like mid-30s, but he's clearly older. He's just had a tough life.
Sure.
So I think by the time that Bruce Wayne becomes Batman in 15 years' time or whatever, he's not going to be really bothered with this not very good version of the Joker in terms of like a comic book character. He's not particularly intelligent, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Or strong.
Yeah.
Or he's mostly surviving with luck.
And his dancing's bad.
Yep.
He does too much of it.
He's nearly slipping over all the times.
Yeah.
He was bested by those children.
Yeah, that's right.
With the sign they stole from him. I'm kind of feeling like Ben Affleck Batman could lay him out in less than one punch.
100%.
So you're right.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that he might not be the Joker that eventually turns up to fight Batman. But how about this?
I'm ready.
Todd Phillips has talked about early this year, he said, look, I'd be open to a sequel to this, but he was basically saying that because I love working with Joaquin Phoenix and I'd do anything with him or whatever. But more recently, he said that, no, this is very much a standalone thing and I don't want to come back to this universe. I think that remains to be seen in how well it's received, whether he gets another idea, whether people want to see this version of the Joker again and so on and so forth. There is a theory that this is going to cross over into the Bat universe.
Yes,
That's
right.
Robert Pattinson's Batman nickname for those who are not in the know. That has been said by Warner Brothers that is not the case. But do you still think there's a chance that these could be linked?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we're assuming that the Robert Batman
Yes.
is going to be, you know, the forerunner to the Ben Affleck Batman, where he's all super high tech and he's kind of, you know, got
Not
the-
necessarily a prequel, but...
That, very much in that vein of like super tech and power suit and all that, and
Yeah.
all the so many bat vehicles and gadgets and what have you. But I mean, he could be a 70s, 80s Batman.
Yeah.
He could be a kind of, you know, somewhat homemade looking suit, kind of, you know.
Like a more Batman Year One kind of
Yeah,
Batman.
right, uh-huh,
I don't
yeah.
think that's the direction they're going to go. But I think it's entirely possible if, you know, it's successful enough, they'll just be like, yeah, they're linked, whatever.
Right, exactly,
You know?
yeah. Can we squeeze $1 more out of this if we say yes? Then yes.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think if the Joker does end up showing up in that universe, they'll just make a different version.
Oh, it'll be classic
from a
Joker.
different universe, yeah.
mhm.
And not a weird tattooed Joker or a,
No.
or a 1970s, 80s Joker.
It'll be fell into the vat Joker.
Yeah.
Came out with white skin and green hair.
Exactly.
Or green skin and white hair, twist.
Ah, what a world.
That's right.
Yeah, but no, I kind of like the idea that, and I hope Warner Brothers does more of this, that these are just a series of stories that are not connected in different universes that never have to meet each other. In the same way in the comics that there's hundreds of different versions of the Joker and Batman and Superman and whoever else.
For sure.
I don't need it all connected
Look,
necessarily.
I don't need them all connected, but I would like for them to be good.
Yes.
So second time's the charm, I guess.
Got him. Also, if you have any theories of your own about this movie, was it all a dream? Is this really Jared Leto Joker? Probably not. But you can put that theory in. That's fine.
Maybe it's his dad.
Maybe it's his dad.
Yeah.
Whatever theory you've got, chuck it down below. We'd love to hear it. Well, speaking of, though, if you are interested in Joker, we have a podcast called The Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. And this upcoming episode on Monday, we have a spoiler review for Joker in full. We certainly have thoughts about that movie, don't we?
Yes, we do.
For good or ill. Please come along on the commute, maybe to work, or you're at home, or you're on the way to school, or whatever you're up to.
Maybe it's a bunch of you guys, just a bunch of pals. You're just in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
You're about to have a fun group activity. You're putting on your clown masks.
Yes.
You're out there. You're standing on top of cars.
You're making it happen.
You're setting things on fire, and you're like, we need something to listen to while that's taking place. Why not listen to our podcast?
Why not? That is linked below, and of course, there's videos here every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Please give it a subscribe, because also there's an upcoming Joker Easter egg video, because, man, there's so many links to the comics and whatever else, isn't there?
There's a couple, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Anyways, I'm at Mr. Sunday Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter.
Catch you guys later.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.